Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's getting ready, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark, either welcome or welcome back. It's the weekend, so you know what that means. Stuff in my coffee and the unfinished basement. Today is Good Earth sweetener, some vanilla almond milk, and some sugar-free pumpkin roll syrup. It's actually pretty good. So, it is coffee talk, so today we are going to revisit our friend Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Now, we did a little coffee talk a couple days ago, and we talked about the big issue with her surgery being canceled. So, I'm going to touch on that briefly, but because I already did, another video on it, I'm just going to kind of skip over some bits. Also, we're going to have a little bonus discussion after we talk about Chantal, because there's a couple things going on with a little bit of some usual YouTube drama that Chantal is kind of part of that I want to touch on. So that'll be in part 2. But first things first. Now it's cold here, hence the hat and the glasses. I always feel like it's too busy and I get a glare, but it's this or nothing. So please do indulge me. Now, where we left off, she was eating a Cajun chicken sandwich and talking smack about smokers. So the next video, she was packing for the hospital for her hysterectomy surgery. And just for the sake of review, we're going to go through this, even though it's been done. She packed for the hospital. In the video, she said it was the day before her surgery. She said she was not happy about it, but not devastated, because Chantal has spoken before about the fact that she wasn't really looking forward to having kids or anything. She went to the hospital the day before for a blood test to make sure everything was good to go, and she went. In the middle of filming, there was a scream in the background. I couldn't tell if it was BB or the cat. She said she wasn't given a specific diet to follow, even though people had said, aren't you on a liquid diet? Didn't you say you were going to go on a liquid diet? She said they didn't give her anything to do. So she talks about the washing procedures. Wash this, not that. The kind of, I guess, Benadine type stuff she had to put on. Not Benadine exactly, or maybe it was, but it was like orange, and you have to put it on the day before. She's talking to the cat, who's going to give you treats, I need to show the audience what I'm packing. So it's all leading up, looks like very legitimately she's going to the hospital. And then she showed all the crap she packed, like slippers and her vegan shakes and all that stuff. So, next, surgery was canceled. Okay. So in that morning of that video, she shows that she has prepped her stomach, which we don't see. Now, I know there's conspiracy theories and ideas out there, and I will address those. So when I'm talking about things that she's doing, if I end up saying allegedly, that's going on the narratives that what she says happened didn't actually happen. We will consider the fact that exactly what she says happened, but we're going to explore some other possibilities as well. So, says that she, excuse me, I think I need some more coffee. Ugh. Went out for a walk earlier, and, it's cold and chilly, and you know how it goes. Plus, I smoke. So, she took her meds, drank a bunch of apple juice, a bunch of water. She said she could drink up until 90 minutes before. I'm not a medical professional, so I can't weigh in on the advice she did or didn't get. I don't know. I'm just reporting out. Her surgery was scheduled for 1:10. She had to pack her CPAP and bring it with her, because apparently they don't provide those things at the hospital. She then checks in from the hospital prep area. She mentions that they have no plus-size gowns. I think in maternity, sometimes they have those. She was wearing 2 and said they weren't big enough still. Gowns are pretty big. I'm a big guy, and I've been bigger. I'm 6 feet tall. I've been close to 300 pounds, and I've been in a hospital once or twice. Gown's pretty big, so that's unfortunate. BB, we guess, signs to the camera, so BB is there. She says her mother and her aunt, who flew in from Jamaica, and BB are there. Before, when she was talking about it, she had said only one person could come with her. So, not sure how that shakes down. Maybe one person after, I don't know. So, and she said they gave her some pain meds, some Tylenol, and some other stuff because she was having cramps. She did say she started her period the day before, but if you're going in for like major surgery, she would have had to have mentioned to them that she was having cramps so bad that they needed to start her on like pain management for it. again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just trying to line those things up. And I was looking at comments, and people were saying they're nurses and they work in the Canadian healthcare system, and this is how things shake down. I gotta claim ignorance. I don't know a lot about that stuff. It did seem curious to me that you would get it orally, though, because I would think an IV would have been started. Just because I've been in the hospital a couple times. But again, I'm just, I'm just casual observer, just watching the show. So, surgery is canceled, she says in the car. The doctor basically said, look, surgery's running behind, you've had this a while, what's the whoop? So BB took 2 weeks off, she says, for nothing. Her aunt came from Jamaica for nothing. So they're going to go to Red Lobster. Now, I'm not saying that if what she says happened, that surgery was backed up and it was canceled. That happens, I suppose. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I'm sure people have had surgery canceled for any number of reasons, whether they caused it themselves or something else came up. But she seems kind of glib about it. Now, if it wasn't her fault, but BB still took time off for it, and her aunt came on a 5-hour flight for it, you would think she wouldn't be so much like, oh, well, thanks for rearranging your lives, guys, but it didn't happen. Let's go get some cheesy biscuits and some all-you-can-eat shrimp. Like, wouldn't you think you'd be a little more invested? Maybe not apologetic, something. You'd be a little more like, thank you for doing this for me. I know it was an inconvenience and the surgery didn't even happen. I don't know. Maybe off camera she was, but she didn't seem too concerned at the moment. She was more concerned with the fact that now she can do Halloween videos for Vlogtober. So then we're going into the theories, and a few of these have been floated, and a lot of the reactions are out now. So some of these are going to bounce off of some other people's input too. One was that she went to the hospital for an entirely unrelated reason and used some of that footage so that she would have footage of herself in the hospital, the wristband, all the other stuff, and she kind of spliced it all together. That was one of the theories, based on people saying she goes to the ER a lot for different stuff. Who knows when she filmed it? She might have went for cramps. Who knows exactly. BB was at the hospital, but her mother and her aunt were not. So was BB the only person who was with her? She had no IV. Was she in an emergency room? BB was outside of the car packing the trunk when she was talking about him having taken time off. So was that actually true? So there's all sorts of stuff that was going along with that. One thing I didn't think of, too, was Pete's. Where was Pete's in all this? Because Pete's bought her Yudi Patootie. So as far as Pete's knew, she was having this surgery as well. So if there is this grand bit of, planning and manipulating on her part, either he knew about it or he was being manipulated too. Because I remember asking in the last mukbang that was all fuzzy and in the car, Chantal, do you have an appointment Saturday for something coming up? And he had mentioned her upcoming surgery. So if it was something isn't, something's not too right. So she faked it, or there was a blood test and the pre-testing work wasn't good and they canceled it the same day. Or it was the truth, or what she said happened is exactly what happened. It was over, it was canceled. Her response for those who rearranged their lives to come see her was still kind of glib, I think. But maybe the truth is what happened. So then, in response to that, the next video is a mukbang trying the new Burger King honey hot sandwich near a haunted ... It was a trail. Vlogtober 2019. So thank God we're not getting a hysterectomy. Now we can do Vlogtober. I know, I think in this video I should ask permission to treat the witnesses hostile, because I'm a little more put out by some of this, and I'll tell you why in a minute. There is a disclaimer on this video. Yes, I'm a fat girl about to eat what I want. I know how many calories are in this food. If you're easily offended, watch the Care Bears. My question of her was always, when she puts these bullet points out, if you know it's not good for you and you know what's in it, why are you doing it? Like, what's your motivation? And if you want to say it's your business, I'm curious. Still, I would like to know. I watch you to try to guess at your motives. That's one of the reasons I watch, So she gets a sandwich, fries, and a Kit Kat milkshake, and she dips her fries in her milkshake. Now, I'm not mad at her. That's some fat person stuff, but that's not exclusive to big folks. And I've been a big person, and I've dipped fries in ice cream, and the sweet salty, it is good. So she didn't invent that. And that's, you know, it's a little greedy, it's a little indulgent, but I've done it too. So I'm not going to, you know, give her the amount of crap that I think maybe other people would for that. She says it is spicy, and when she splices spicy, she says, you know what that means, and it's a picture of Yosemite Sam running around with his butt on fire. Okay. And the Canadian exchange rate must really, like, stink, because it was like $14 for a sandwich, a milkshake, and some fries. So I couldn't figure that out. And all I could think of is that, like, okay, her aunt is visiting in, and BB's home, and in order, like, what did she say? Like, hey guys, I'm going to put on a full face of makeup and go for a drive and eat in my car. So either this is, like, done in secret, or they don't know about it. Maybe it was filmed earlier. I don't know. She makes no mention of anything that happened. And I know in her community post she had put up a few and taken them down, and put a couple up and taken them down, and mentioned, I'm not going to put this information out there anymore because yap, yap, yap. But I mean, not even an acknowledgement of this huge life-changing direction that was going to happen, and then the brakes got put on, and then it's like, oh, well, let's go to Burger King. Let's go to Red Lobster. Let's go to McDonald's. Speaking of that, just when I thought I was ready to do the damn review video an hour ago, I look, and she went to McDonald's and did another mukbang. And it's McDonald's Favorites Feast mukbang. Now, I've watched the mukbangs, and I don't particularly like to. This was the first one I saw that actually the word gross came to mind. It was quite the big spread of food. It was a huge bag of food. It was like Big Mac, quarter pounder, fries. It was chicken nuggets. It was just a lot of stuff. There was enough dipping sauces to drown a cat. It was just a lot of food. And she was eating and talking about Halloween and ghost shows and things like that. And I couldn't even get distracted into the story time because of how much was going on. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the last 5 minutes of it because it was just a little too much. So that wasn't really doing it for me. I don't know. So I'm a little irritated with Chantal, frankly, because I'm not going to say whether I think she did or didn't make that up. I'm on the fence. So I'm a little perturbed with that. I don't know. Mark?
Yes?
Mark, I'm talking about Chantal. What are your thoughts? You want to come in here for a second? I need backup.
What?
Chantal, Foodie Beauty.
I think she is a person of very little quality.
Thank you, Mark. So, I told you I was the nice one. Everyone thinks he's the nice one. I'm the nice one. So,
That's not true.
I am the nice one. So, at any rate, that's all the videos. Now, the other thing I wanted to weigh in on, and this also involves Chantal, but it involves some other people, and I'm perfectly willing to name names today. So, here's the thing. I was watching on community boards. I watch a couple different people aside from just, Chantal. And one of the people I also watch is Life by Jen. And there's a couple other channels that I'll mention. But I remember Charlie Gold was Chantal was trying to go back and forth with Charlie Gold. Because Charlie Gold got big, fast, and for arguably good reasons, and she was embraced by the fitness community, and then I know Charlie Gold even took a step back. But Chantal was taking swipes at her, arguably to try to advance her own name and get it out there. So it seemed like the other day, Life by Jen put out a video of people that she watches, supporters she has. Life by Jen's doing keto, and a lot of them were like keto weight loss channels. And I'm not talking about whether or not Life by Jen has a channel or whether or not anyone likes or doesn't like her. But what happened was Chantal had posted she couldn't support Life by Jen anymore because she had listed Charlie Gold as one of the channels. She mentioned her for about a minute in the video. That she liked her and looked to her for some inspiration and liked the content that she put out. And Chantal said, how can you support her when she fat shames people like me and Amber Lynn? And Chantal always puts herself together with Amber Lynn. I don't know if Amber Lynn keeps Chantal on her radar at all. Uh, and so she tried to come for life by Jen in that way. If you're going to be friends with her, I can't be friends with you. Uh-huh. So Jen put out a video quickly kind of nipping it in the bud and addressing it and kind of dropped it. Now, Mark and I had sort of a similar situation happen, and we addressed it in a video like 1,000 years ago. Mark and I were semi-tight with a couple named Cynthia and Tommy Beaumont. They also have a channel. Moderate size. It's grown pretty fast. They've got about 12,000 subscribers. And they are having a hard time at the moment, I will say, because Tommy is dealing with cancer. He's going through chemo, he's going through radiation, and his wife Cynthia, bless her heart, is doing what I think is probably her best to try to care for him. But just before the diagnosis came out, and actually right when it happened, Mark and I had been back and forth, and we would trade cards and all this stuff. And again, there's an older video about it. But we had commented, and again, I'm not saying whether anyone should or shouldn't like any of these channels. I'm just saying the interactions. Pam Talks. Now, Pam Talks did reviews and reactions of Cynthia and Tommy Beaumont. So I watched both channels. I was a fan of Cynthia and Tommy, and I was a fan of Pam Talks. I liked both. So I had left a comment on a reaction video that Pam did of Cynthia and Tommy. Well, apparently Cynthia watches Pam's videos, because she had read the comment, and instantly Mark and I were blocked from Cynthia's channel. The videos of anything we had sent them, like fan mail or any craps that Mark had made that he had sent to Cynthia, all the videos were taken down, all the mentions were gone, all the comments we left were gone. The first comment I was going to leave was, concerned for Tommy because his diagnosis happened. It was all within a week that had happened. And we were just cut off. What bothers me about all this is how old are we? I mean, I feel like Mark and I are a small channel with a good group of subscribers and try to keep the tone of, drama happens. We all know drama happens. And I think we're far enough removed from it because we're not a large channel that we're kind of on the periphery, kind of on the outside looking in, far enough away that hopefully we can look for like the lesson in all of this. And I feel like the lesson with all of this is like, if I can't be friends with someone who doesn't, you don't have to run all your friends past other people and make sure that they like your friends too. Like, it's possible to be friends with this person and this person, even if they don't like each other. The only time that's not possible is in high school cliques, I think. And I understand some people are very protective of their friends and don't want to see other people get hurt. And that's a good reason to try to look out for each other and maybe shoot a heads up or something like that. And that I can appreciate. But the kind of thing that Chantal was trying to corner Jen into doing, or that Cynthia, well, I think if Cynthia had responded, or if Tommy had responded, well, Cynthia, let's say Cynthia, because Tommy's kind of along for the ride. Tommy's a sweet guy, it seems, who is just along for the ride, and Cynthia kind of runs the show. And if that had been extended to us, it would have been the same thing, just cut off. You like someone I don't like, we can't be friends anymore. So, again, I'm kind of torn on that, because also, like I said, you want to protect people from people you think might not have their best interests at heart, but at the same time, I can't be friends with you if you're friends with them. It's my turn at dodgeball. I don't know. Mark!
Yes.
I need a ruling.
Okay.
I'm talking about pettiness in and amongst tubers who I can't be friends with you if you're friends with them. It happened with Chantal and Life by Jen. It happened with Cynthia and us. What are your thoughts on, like, that kind of thing? I mean, with Cynthia, we did a whole video about it, too.
My thoughts on Cynthia and Thomas?
Well, yeah, I guess on mostly Cynthia.
And the latest...
Well, they have their own drama going on, but it's almost the same thing that happened to us as what was happening to Jen.
I think Cynthia is a person of very low quality. I'm in rare form today.
Yeah.
All this YouTube drama has really jarred my preserves, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm done with Chantal. I'm done with Cynthia. Seriously, though, I made a video about Cynthia and Thomas, a few months back, and I stand beside that still today.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has gotten actually worse. as far as the lying and manipulating of her subscribers, and the removing of anything that could be perceived as negative in her comments. She removes them right away.
Chantal does that too.
I
She
know,
edits.
and I've gotten when I was watching, I got savvy to it and started taking screenshots and then going back because I thought, is it me? No, and she does that kind of stuff. That's just, just my opinion. I stand beside it. I don't watch either one of them anymore because the drama is just too much. I get too involved in it. It makes me upset. Like when Cynthia went after Pam Talks, like viciously like that, and sent all of her people over to put negative comments on all.
Yeah, like sending your people over.
So
like
petty and just not right, in my opinion.
Like, who sends their people? Like, first of all,
right.
I would never ask. First of all, you're not my people.
Exactly.
You're all individuals.
Yes.
Second of all, if we were to ask any of you to go to someone's channel, unsubscribe because we've lost it.
No,
we've lost touch with
who we are.
Go
there and
you go over there and trash talk and troll,
and flag her this that. I mean,
first of all, we wouldn't ask you to do it. Second of all, I don't think any of you would do it because you're nice people.
No, it's not like that. And in that situation, her video and all that, it was so full of untruths and exaggerations. It was so ridiculous. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Your opinion.
I love Tommy to death, and I wish them the best. My heart goes out to anyone who's going through a situation like that.
Oh, of course.
Anyone, and I really do. But as far as her as a person, no, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
That's my opinion.
Well, thank you, Mark. You are in rare form today,
I
aren't
am. Well, I gotta go to work.
The flowers look nice.
Why, thank you. I just cut them.
They are very nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's end that on a high note then.
It was nice to see everybody. I'm heading to work. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you all for watching. I think we'll end on that high note. The lesson for all of us here, I guess, don't trust everything you see and hear. It's probably, truth be told, I'm probably the nice one, but Mark's probably the smart one. That's
nice.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? Don't believe everything you see and hear. I'm a little naive, maybe erring on the side of too naive, but I'll own that. That's okay. With the back and forth that goes on, like I said, I feel like Mark and I are far enough away from it that we can just comment and not be inserting ourselves. But let's all just calm down a little bit here now, okay? All right. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact information is listed below. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow. Bye.